Yeah, we talk about those fights, Pacquiao and Cotto, and now Pacquiao and Mayweather. I mean, like, who do you like, Pacquiao and Mayweather? I mean, you've thought about that, or
You know what? I have loved Manny Pacquiao since he was fighting at 112 pounds when he first came up. Then he was at 126. I mean, he's phenomenal, and I love the way he fights and the style he brings. And I've always said that those two together is going to be a great fight. But I've never seen anyone, and it's Mayweather is just so good defensively, and he makes people fight their fights. But the fact of the way that Pacquiao goes about things, he used to be a one-handed fighter. He had a left hand, and his right hand wasn't that great. And the work that he's done with Freddie Roach, and you watch his fight against Miguel Cotto, and you watch how many times he effectively landed that right hand, and he hurt Cotto over and over and set up his left hand. The angles and the footwork that he uses, he's going to give Mayweather some problems. But Mayweather is that guy that I've never seen anyone that he hasn't been able to take and neutralize and get the win against. Obviously, he's undefeated, so it's going to be a great fight. I would say that I usually say my heart goes with Pacquiao, and my head tells me Mayweather.
right? Everyone's gonna. It's either one or the heads or tails.
That's
you know what I
it.
mean?
They're both phenomenal fighters, and they're both. That's the fight that needs to happen in
That's
boxing.
a mega fight.
Oh, it's a mega fight. That's huge. That's what everyone wants to see, and because you want to see absolutely the two best guys in the sport right now. If you can put that fight together, then you've got the best boxing match, on paper that you could possibly have.
Right. And then some other big fights are coming up. Sugar Shane Mosley, he's fighting a young guy, Andre Berto.
Berto's good, though.
Berto's good.
Berto's really good. Sugar Shane has surprised a lot of people. He was so good and undefeated for all that time, and then had a couple of problems. And then you watched his fight against Margarito. He was phenomenal in it. It was the Sugar Shane of old, and even better in some ways. How smart he fought. Berto is, fast and young, and he's so good and stuff. But that's a great fight. That's the old and the new. And you know what? Is it going to be that Berto gets his piece of the pie by taking out Shane, or is Shane going to show him some old man moves and take that fight and say, oh, you're not quite ready yet? So that's a great fight too.
Yeah, it's here. So it sounds like you're on the fence still. Like,
on that one, I'm going to go with Shane Mosley because Shane's I got to go with him.
Yeah, that's well said. And then any other exciting matchups you're seeing? I know you can't talk a lot about MMA because it's part of your business and stuff. But boxing, Paul Williams just fought. Anything else? You're from SoCal, right?
I'm from SoCal.
So Israel Vasquez and Rafael Marquez, they're fighting a fourth time here in May. Yeah, so that's going to be an exciting fight.
Those guys, that's
even the little guys,
they're phenomenal to watch. They're getting into almost to the Gotti Ward stage of the rematches and stuff. And there's so many good young fighters. The thing with boxing, and I think it's the same with MMA, the smaller guys, the guys that are ranging in the 160 and down, they're so good at what they're doing now. And they're so fun to watch. I think a lot of the bigger guys, even in MMA, the better athletes are going to the NFL and the NBA and things like that. And so, because that takes a big human being, a big athlete to participate.
You have a lot of European champions like Fedor, like we were talking, Klitschko.
Because you don't have the guys, in the U.S. going towards fighting as much as they're going towards the NFL and the NBA. And I think you're going to see European guys, taking those heavier weight divisions for a while. Even you look, guys like Boutte came from, now he's the man in Montreal and stuff. But there's going to be some great European fighters because as the weights get heavier, you're seeing most of the guys are coming from the European because all the North American guys are playing football and basketball, and so it'll be interesting to see for a while.
Yeah, and I saw an interesting MMA fight. Frank Mir had an impressive win this last weekend, and it made me think the way he boxed. If he maybe, let's say he said, hey, I'm going to be a boxer. I want to challenge.
Not a good idea.
Challenge the Klitschko's. You don't think he
No, the thing is with and this is where there are certain guys. I honestly thought when Anderson Silva said he wanted to fight Roy Jones. Anderson, if you put him in, I've seen him in boxing gyms and I've seen him go against really good boxers. He can box and he can do really well, and he's only gotten better in the last couple of years. And Roy was obviously on the tail side of his career, and so, I'm not saying Anderson would have beaten him, but it would have been a pretty decent fight. if you took, MMA is different. And the footwork of an MMA fighter, the stance of an MMA fighter has to be different than that of a boxer. And that's why you're going to get a different stand-up game. Although, and Frank Mir did a phenomenal job against Czech Congo. He used very good footwork, good angles, set the punches up, and hurt Congo and took him out of the fight with a nice guillotine. But if you were going to put him in the real world of boxing, boxing is part of what he does to train for MMA. But there's so many other elements that he has to train. He can't put that same amount of time that a boxer is putting in to that one element. And he's not prepared for a guy like a Klitschko. He's going to have a hard time getting in on a Klitschko. MMA guys work for a clinch and they'll get underhooks. We want to get an underhook. Boxers want to get overhooks because you're going to keep them from being able to bring the hand up. Everything kind of works against an MMA guy going into boxing unless he's really going to get away from MMA for a while and just start studying, change his stance, change his footwork, change what he does in that ring, because all the things that he's trained over and over, they're going to happen automatically, and that can be a bad thing if you're going against a boxer in a boxing match, because a lot of them will work against you.
Right, yeah. This guy's got me all excited about the action tonight. We appreciate your time, man. You're like a living legend and a SoCal guy, and we're here again at Irvine at the Battle in the Ballroom. They got it going on all the time in MMA, boxing, whatever it is. It's here. Enjoy it. Go out and watch some fights, right?
Sounds good.
Hey, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.